Hello everybody, welcome to OTC Fish Keeper, and today I'm trying something a little different. Today I'm going to try my luck at breeding some Zebra Danios. I bought myself 7 Zebra Danios, just got them used to the temperature of the tank here, and I'm going to throw them in this breeder box. I've actually tried this before. I bought 2 different kinds of breeder boxes. This one right here, which has holes in it, and as you sink it into water, it fills up with water. And then I tried another one where water gets pumped in by an air pump and then flows back out, keeping fresh water. Both of which keep fresh water in the breeder box. But this one has tiny holes to let water in. And actually, these Zebra Danio babies are so tiny they can swim right through them, no problem. So what I've done this time to remedy that is I have set up a tank just for the babies. So after the babies are hatched in this tank and born in here, they're going to stay in this tank, and then the adults go back over to another tank I have over here where I've got some fish that need other fish swimming above them, some cory cats that are freaking out a little bit, and they'll be much more comfortable if they have another fish swimming overhead, because that kind of tells them that, hey, there's no predators coming down, because there's still fish above me who would leave if there was a predator coming. So hopefully we'll get some babies. These 7, I went to the store, just bought them today, still in the bag, floating them right now, getting ready to release them. And then these 7, I'm willing to bet within 2 days will lay a ton of eggs, and then I can switch them to the other tank. In the meantime, I'm going to keep them in this breeder box. I'm not even going to release them into the main tank, and so we'll see what happens there. So let's go ahead and let them go. I just got 7 because they didn't look great at the pet store, but they look better than a lot of the other tanks. So we'll see how this goes here. Now they've only been in this water for about 30 minutes, so I'm not too worried about it. And there's no other fish in the tank, so I'm also not too worried about that. So I'm going to release them directly into the breeder box. And because they are such prolific jumpers, I'm getting the lid on there right away. And it just kind of floats in there. It's got a couple of suction cups which you can use to attach them to the side. It doesn't matter a whole lot if these guys move, because there's no other fish, like I said. So let me get you a close-up there. Take a good look at it. Okay, you can see I got a little bit of Java moss in there. Stuff's great, impossible to kill, and real nice for a lot of egg-laying fish. And I don't know if you can tell, but I purposefully went through the fish in the store until I found a couple of females that were very, very heavily laden with eggs, like this one right here, which is going to make it much easier to get the babies out of them right away. Hopefully I got a couple males. I got 7 in general. 3 of them were clearly carrying eggs, and right now their color's not so great because, you know, they just got transferred from the store. Another day or so they should look pretty good. If I keep getting these small fish, I'm going to have to get a better camera so I can zoom in on these better. But nevertheless, I'm going to leave them in here. Holy cow, one's already escaped. I do not know how I'm going to have to get him out of there because one has somehow gotten underneath the grate. Now see, they lay the eggs above there and it falls underneath. And then that way the fish can't eat the eggs. But if I leave him underneath there, obviously he's going to eat the eggs. So time for me to get him out, and we'll let you guys see how this goes. Well, right away I had a problem. The little guy who escaped to the bottom escaped the second time when I flipped it over, so it's pretty obvious he was going to get down there no matter what. So I had to switch to this other breeder box, which I don't like as much. It's not as big. I do like it more after the fish hatch, because you can leave them in there and there's water coming in and flowing out, so it's got good water flow. The only thing is, the zebras actually can't escape from this back into the tank. I mean, there's a lid on here, so it's solid, but there's a tiny little slot where they can get out, and man, they do. But hopefully they stick around in there long enough to lay me a bunch of eggs before morning, and we'll see what we end up getting there. And second problem that's already come up is I bought 7, and now I count and there's 6. I look all over the fish room here and there's no fish anywhere, and I check the bag, I have no idea. I've already lost one of my 7 zebra fish. It's crazy. These guys are just the best escape artists. That's why in the fish store where I bought these, I just went tank to tank looking for them, because The zebrafish tank itself did not look all that healthy, and they didn't have any fat females in there, but they were in every single tank in the store, including the Oscar tank. And in the Oscar tank, they actually had a baby in there. It was freaking adorable. If they wouldn't have charged me for it, I would have taken it home. But the Oscars were no longer in the tank, of course. So yeah, there goes that guy trying to escape to the bottom again. Yeah. So hopefully in the morning we'll have us some eggs, and in a couple of days we'll have us some babies. We'll see. Well, it's the first morning after we tried to breed these zebras, and as you can see here, 5 of the 6 actually escaped the breeding box and got back into the main tank somehow. I have no idea how they got out of there. One failed to escape. So I'm going to have to try it again. I'm going to have to try to figure out how they're getting out and try to block that. So we'll try it again in the morning tomorrow. Okay, well, after 3 or 4 days of trying, finally managed to keep the zebrafish in the little breeding container there. And I do believe I've got quite a few eggs on the bottom. They're so small though, it's impossible to see. I don't think you can see anything with this this magnifier on this, but there are, I do believe, a number of eggs on the bottom, quite a few actually. So in my experience in this particular breeder box, when the eggs hatch, the fry can easily make their way, because there's water flow, they can easily make their way back into the main tank, which is why I'm using the entire 10-gallon tank here as a grow out tank for this particular batch of fry. So we'll see how that goes. And the parents now have been moved into this this 20-gallon tank for a couple of reasons. One is, you know, give them some nice space to fatten them back up and then breed them again. See the one big female there, she's already looking pretty plump. And it's really cool. I really like the way these guys school. I really enjoy watching that in my tank. I'd love to have them in a bigger tank. Eventually I'll get a 75-gallon and put them in there. But also another reason for having them in here is I've got my gold laser cories in here. And cories in general, as well as Plecostomus, kind of like to have another fish species swimming above them, because that kind of tells them that, you know, they're safe and there's no predators coming from above. So keeping them in this tank would be good for that. I did have some Java fern in here. I had to take that out, because if I didn't take the Java fern out of this tank, the zebras would simply keep on laying, and the eggs would all be eaten by the zebras and the gold laser cories. So I've taken the Java fern out, and then whenever I'm ready, I will put these zebras back into another breeder box, and I will breed them again. And if you counted, I don't know if you realize, but I'm down to 5 now. I bought 7, only 6 even made it home, and one of the 5 managed to jump out of the breeder box and onto the floor, so he didn't survive. So we're down to 5, but I believe we got some eggs, and hopefully they're fertilized eggs, and we'll find out in a day or 2. Okay, well, it's been about a week now, and we definitely did have some eggs, and now we definitely do have some fry. And even though they've been growing for a week, they are unbelievably tiny. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on 1 or 2 of them here. They're just so small. They've been growing for a week, and they're just crazy small. So yeah, there you go. There's a little movement. You can see the movement. Unfortunately, can't zoom in on the fish very well. And as I predicted, then a number of them have come out in the tank. Again, they're very small, but this time quite a few stayed in the breeder box. I was surprised and kind of happy about that. It's just easier to feed them if you know where they are, you know. So with a little luck, we should have, you know, 20 to 50 of these things when they grow up. And meantime, let me show you an update on the volunteer zebra babies who just kind of survived on their own. Of course, I'm feeding them now that I know they're there. Let me go take a peek. Okay, and these guys are doing extremely well. Now that I started feeding them, they're growing even faster, and they're still hard to focus on though. I've been giving them some brine shrimp along with a variety of other foods, and they are very happy about it. Just zoom in on one of these little, they're killing me. killing me here. But you can see the stripes on them now. And whenever I feed them the brine shrimp, which was just recently, you can see their bellies get nice and full, which they are right now, and they're still showing a little bit of the pink from the brine shrimp because they're still small enough for that. And there's a variety of sizes here. I've got some very, very tiny ones up here at the top. Ah, shoot, this is terrible. But yeah, they're coming along real nice. Hopefully pretty soon they get big enough I can actually show them to you in a respectable amount of detail. Look like their parents soon. So just to make sure you get a good look at some zebrafish, some actual zebrafish, we got these guys. And these guys are doing really well. Still have the last 5, and I definitely have 4 females and 1 male. The 4 females are all ready to lay their eggs again. I was thinking about even putting some Java moss in here, just to let them lay their eggs, just so they don't become egg bound. And it is, after all, a nutritious food for both the zebrafish and the cory catfish. So I'm giving that some thought. I don't really want to waste it like that, but at the same time, I wouldn't know what to do with a couple thousand zebrafish. So until next time, you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and keep on having fun.